there was the call, obviously, with Foreign Minister Wang last night, our time. Could you explain a little bit about that? Do you think that the Chinese are actually going to do that? Do you see any forward movement there? And also, the Chinese readout of this focused a lot on the Winter Olympics, saying that the U.S. shouldn't, quote unquote, interfere in the Winter Olympics. Does the U.S. have any readout of what the Secretary said on that?
We did issue a readout, as you said. The Secretary made the point at the top of that call that we view these engagements, this dialogue, our ability to communicate candidly with our PRC counterparts as a good thing. Because our charge, as we see it, our primary charge with the PRC and the management of perhaps the most consequential bilateral relationship in the world is to manage that competition responsibly. And to do all that we can to ensure that competition doesn't spill over into, God forbid, conflict. And so the Secretary made that point very clear. It's a point that we've also heard from time to time from our PRC counterparts as well. So as we stated in our readout, Secretary Blinken did raise with the Foreign Minister the Russian aggression that we're seeing against Ukraine. As you heard from the Undersecretary, we have sought from countries around the world. You have noted that we have issued dozens and dozens of readouts in recent weeks, and almost all of them have made some mention of Russia's aggression against Ukraine and our efforts to pursue dialogue and diplomacy, just as we prepare with defense and deterrence. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that the Secretary did raise this issue with the PRC. The PRC has a relationship with Russia that is distinct from the one that we have with Russia, that is distinct from the relationship that many countries around the world have with Russia. So as you heard from the Undersecretary, the PRC does have a relationship that would allow it to use its influence in a manner that we hope to be constructive, that we would like to see be constructive. There were other topics of discussion, the DPRK and the DPRK's recent provocations, but also other issues in the bilateral relationship. In nearly all of these discussions, there is an opportunity to raise our concerns regarding human rights, regarding our well-known concerns about the ongoing genocide in Xinjiang and crimes against humanity, but also broader issues in the bilateral relationship, including Taiwan as well. Yes?